Hi everybody and welcome to day 2 of the So Hair's the Thing styling challenge. So here's our style from yesterday, so she's still intact. I've been playing with her a little bit because I've been having a quick practice as to what I'm gonna show you today. So you've already got your half up and half down. Well done everybody that has completed it. And today I'm going to show you how to transform this style and use this basis as the starting point for a mermaid braid. Now there's loads of different ways to do this. Some can be really intricate, some not so much. So I'm going to show you a way in which you can create a mermaid braid effect which looks really impressive. So especially if somebody has booked it for an event, maybe a bride wants it, you can dress it with flowers. There's all kinds of things you can do with this to make it look really interesting. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to transform this half up style, what to do with the bottom here to make it have that mermaid effect. Okay, so first of all I'm just going to get you to separate. So separate a piece off round her front shoulder and separate a piece off round her other shoulder, so you're just left with one piece here at the back. Like I mentioned yesterday, I'm using Louisa from Limage, however you pronounce it, and she's got a lovely lot of hair. Now if you had a client with really fine hair, then you might want to look to add some extensions in for this kind of style because you want it to be nice and full. Okay, so what I'm going to do first of all is just take about half of that section here onto the top, and I'm just going to pop a little bobble in it. Now you'll see I've got a couple of these little invisible elastics, and when I work I just pop them on my finger because they don't really get in my way, so I can just use it and then I can just pull them off my finger as and when I need them. Also you'll notice on the back of my hand here I've got a little bit of product. Now this is the Osis Tame Wild. You'll see this come up quite a lot with quite a lot of hairstylists. It's definitely one of the more popular products and it's really good for smoothing, so smoothing away any flyaways, and I just use it as I work. I put it on the back of my hand so that I can dip my fingers in, I run it through my fingers and then I work, rather than kind of blobbing it onto the hair all the time. Just by having it on my fingers, it's transferring onto the hair as I go. So I'm just going to put make sure I've got that in about halfway, and I'm just going to put a bubble around that. Now it doesn't have to be precise, because one of the really nice things about this style is that actually it looks very undone, it looks very whimsical, and you can see there you go, I've just got a bubble in the middle there. Okay, and now what we're going to do, I'm just going to loosen that bubble slightly, take it down a little bit just so I can get my fingers through the middle there. And for those of you that might refer to this as a topsy tail, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to take it in, hold it with my fingers and pull it through, and it gives me this twisted effect immediately. So you can just pull that to get it up a little bit tighter, and then I'm just going to use the pinch and pull technique to kind of take this out and fill a little bit of that gap that is there, because I don't want it to look tight, I want it to look undone and I want it to spread across the hair, and you can almost see the effect that that's immediately given us. Okay, now once I've put in the first one, I'm going to work my way down the back of the hair doing just that. Okay, so you can pull them slightly off to the side if you want to pull them off to the side and build it as you go, or you can just do it in one straight line, whatever you're finding easiest. So I'm going to now, so let me turn this around so you can see what I'm going to do. So the two pieces that are behind, so the hair from the bottom, the two pieces that are behind, I'm going to pull them over to the top. So I'm almost wrapping, that's where my bubble is, and I'm wrapping it around. And I'm going to pop another bubble in there. And as you can see, it's almost like a cheating at a plait, really, a plaited effect. And I'm going to pull this out here. And don't worry if it's not looking super neat at the moment, because you're going to do a lot of detailing at the end. So you're going to pinch and pull and get it to exactly how you like it. I'm sitting slightly off to the side of her, so her hair is coming slightly off to the side. That's another good tip. Make sure that if you want something to be very central, you are stood where you want the hair to go. So for example, if I am working on the back of my client's head, I would be stood directly behind my client to bring the hair back, because what I don't want to do is work on the side, do it all lovely, pull it all out this way, and then actually have to stick it back down to her head. So I'm just going to turn her around a little bit. I kind of like how that's coming off to the side. It's almost like an Elsa braid, which is something I get asked a lot for, especially by little ones. They always want their hair like Elsa. So this is a really quick way to do that also. So, okay, so that's coming down. I'm going to do the same thing. So the hair that is left underneath, this is the last bit of hair that I've got left underneath. I'm just going to take that into 2 sections. And because that one's come that way, I'm going to pull this one to the opposite way, and I'll show you in a second what that looks like. So I'm just going to put a bobble in there. And come off to that side slightly. So you can see the pattern that is forming here. And then you've got all this hair now kind of gathered together, and you can just keep repeating that same pattern. So keep opening and going around where the hair bubble is. So with the hair that's left underneath, I'm going to take that again, and I'm going to bring that around, and I'm going to put a bobble in. Now we've got a really nice texture to the hair, because actually this is from yesterday's curl. If the hair was dead straight, it wouldn't perhaps work quite so well, and you'd have to put in a little bit of texture spray, or you'd have to pre-curl the hair. Maybe if somebody's got kind of a curly hair naturally, this would be a really good style to create on them also. So now you can see kind of how it looks like we've braided, when actually all we've done is put in a few little extra bobbles. Okay, so I'm just going to come around here to show you the sides, what we're going to do on the sides. Now, the reason I tell you not to be quite so neat with everything is because then actually it's really nice if you have kind of, I'm just going to pop a little bit more of that onto my fingers, a little bit of definition through a little bit of these curls that are kind of hanging down as well. And it's all really, really visual. So now you kind of want to fill in the gaps. Now I can see I've got a gap here, and I can see I'll probably want some hair through here too. So there's a couple of ways in which you can do that. So I'm going to take this side section here. So this is the section we put over her shoulder, and I'm just going to run a little bit of product through that, and I'm going to twist, just so this matches, I'm going to just twist that around my finger, and I'm going to have a look and see where I want it to go. So I kind of want it to come in at this point here. So I'm just going to pinch and pull there, and a couple of things you can do. You can either pin that hair over there, or excuse me, you can simply thread it through the existing hair that you've got there. Again, by putting your fingers through, you can thread it through there. So I'm going to thread it through, and then all I'm going to do is secure it with a grip. So same technique as I did yesterday, where the grip doesn't open, it goes in and it goes across, and I'm going to secure it like that, and that's going to mean that that's just filled in that little gap there for me. Okay, and you can see how that sits. So I'm just going to dress this area out a little bit, because I want this to kind of match up and look like it's sweeping in. And then I'm going to do the same with this side also. So I'm going to take the section on the side here, and I'm going to twist, and I'm going to have a look, and I'm going to see where I want that to go. So I might want this bit to sit up here, but actually I want it to come in through here. And like I said, it's very visual, so you will look at your hairstyle, however your hairstyle has fallen, and you'll see kind of where the gaps are and where you want to fill it in and add things up. So I've just gone in there with the bobble again, and I'm just going to hold that just while I kind of pinch and pull that bit out there as well. And you can see this is starting to take a really nice shape, looks really intricate, when actually all it is a few bobbles and a few pins. And I'm just going to give that a little bit of hairspray on there, and then we're going to have a look at what we've got left here at the bottom. And if you want to leave some little bits out, like you can kind of find a few of the little pieces, you can leave them hanging down. That looks quite nice. I'm going to, let's see, where shall we pop this bit? I feel like that bit wants to go in through there. So then I've got that sitting there like that. This section here, you might want to leave out a couple of little bits. Again, twist and pull. Like I said, it's totally visual, kind of where it is that you want the hair to go, how you're going to do it. And also something that does change this style a little bit is actually the client's hair colour. So if somebody has kind of got all one colour hair, or if somebody else has got hair that changes colour, so if they've got an ombre effect, then this style can look really, really different given the colour of their hair. So this one I'm going to come over this side, and if you're not too sure where to put your pieces, just think of crisscrossing them. So fold them, so anything on this side comes to this side, anything on this side comes to this side, and then as a general rule that should give you a good basis of a nice shape as well. And then when you get to the bottom, you might find that actually you want to leave bits out, you might want to pin these bits together. I think I'm just going to leave a few bits just kind of falling, and I'm maybe just going to tuck this bit here into the bobble at the bottom. And because we've got the bobbles, that's another reason why we can use bits to add bits in. It's just something else that we can design. So you can see where I'm going with that. I'm going to have a little play with her and keep kind of pinching and pulling and keep taking things out so that she looks like she has got loads and loads of hair. The detail on these styles, the detail is really, really important, because actually that's what you're going to see. I was just filling in that gap there. That's what you're going to be focusing on and using to kind of make it personal to that client. You can see as I start to pull out, the shape starts to change slightly there too as well. If you notice that you've perhaps got any little gaps or any bits that you want to cover, like so for example here, I need to lift this hair here and pull this hair down slightly. But another thing to do, if it is the wedding morning and you are noticing bits like that, and you think, oh actually I'm going to put something in her hair anyway, that's a perfect place for a flower. So you could kind of hide something in there, add some gems as you go, and that would edit the look as well. A lot of the brides that have this do wear fresh flowers in their hair, so that's quite a nice way to do it. Makes it look very boho, but it is just also a really, really simple way of looking like it's a really, really intricate style, and it's really secure as well. So it's a good one for if somebody is going to be spending a lot of time outside, because it's a really nice updo to have that is sort of a little bit down as well. A lot of the time brides tell me they want half up, half down, and actually we'll end up on this kind of style. So I'm going to just pull out a little bit more of the hair. Again, just using the pinch and pull. Just careful not to yank the hair, but just take it slightly, a little bit every single time. And you can see how this is really starting to take shape now. So I'm going to add in some accessories, and then I will pop a picture on for you. Often I can sit here for ages kind of pinching and pulling and really personalising a style. Realistically, to get a half up, half down in, and then to get that bottom piece in, it doesn't take you very long. So if you've allowed, say, perhaps 45 minutes, an hour for a hair up style, by the time you've prepped and by the time you've pinned, you've then probably got about 15 minutes at the end just to play, just to make sure it's exactly how you want it to look. And you can just go through and keep pinching and keep pulling and keep going with the whole style until it's exactly how you want it to be. So I'm just going to sit that bit out there. And again, little bits on the ends, you're going to want to use a little bit of your curl cream and stuff as well. So I'm going to pop some accessories in and have a play with her. I hope that that was as easy as it looked. and just keep trying. And just remember, the key things to remember on this one are that you're placing in bobbles. If you want to wrap it in from the side, just go one side to the other. If you're a bit confused about the where to pin it through, where to pull it through, just literally take a piece of hair from this side and pin it to that side, piece of hair from this side and pin it to that side, because that will still give you the effect. Okay, so let me know how you get on. I look forward to seeing your pictures, and well done, that's day 2 all done.